Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Generation Spacing, a new fighting game podcast that Brandon, aka TuboWare, is obviously taking very seriously because he's just sitting there. What were you doing on your phone just now?
Tindering. No, I'm tindering.
Dang. Okay, look at you.
Quarantine, man. I'm lonely, all right? I need some human interaction.
How is tindering going to work? That kind of messes up the social distancing concept, right?
No, I'm not going to meet anyone right now. Just, for when it's safer.
Yeah. Tindering all the way for 6 months in advance then, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Well, in any case,
you got to think about that though, because you have to set it up first, right? Then they know, and then you have the ability. The second the quarantine is over, it's like that.
Plant the seed, James. You got to plant the seed.
I do not
and
have.
And the flower blooms, and then you can fuck the flower, James.
I'm too old for this kind of strategy. You see, back in when I was in my dating prime, which was never. When I was in my dating prime, we didn't have things like Tinder and stuff.
Dating prime.
I actually had to use like the personal ads in newspapers and shit, dude. I mean, come on.
Old people Craigslist.
But in any case,
what was your greatest personal ad, James? I'm just gonna keep interrupting.
My greatest personal ad was that I was talking about how great I was at Tetris, and I said that I would definitely know where to stick my long bar. So that's what my personal ad was about. So I was going.
That's how you became a 40-year-old virgin.
I was gonna score a Tetris. Yeah, it didn't work, dude.
Look, I'm saying, Steve Carell got laid at some point.
That's true.
I never saw the movie. You spoiled it, man. Come on, dude.
That movie. I was in high school, so you got plenty of time.
God damn it! Oh man, you spoiling the movie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's my black. I'm sorry about that. James, would you
wait.
like to continue?
Wait, hang on a second. So yeah, I mean, we started. Okay, let me get this intro thing over with here. All right, we're off to a great start. Generation Spacing, because obviously we're fighting game players, so we practice a lot of spacing in fighting games. We're doing social distancing right now, and conversations will obviously go in any direction possible, so we'll all be spacing out.
As you've already seen.
Yes, and the other thing too, honestly though, one of the things that we did try to make sure was you can see that we're ordered in age here, right? So we've got EbonicPlague as the youngest, TuboWare in the middle, and myself as the old man over here. So, kind of like a nice little generation gap, spreading everything
Clowns
around.
to the left of me, jokers to the right.
So wait, you're right or stream right?
Either way.
Okay.
I'm stuck in the middle.
Joker. I would like to be a Joker if I get a choice in this. That's all I'm saying.
And look, hey, you guys want to introduce yourselves, or actually no? I'm just gonna ask you right now. Isaiah, EbonicPlague, also known as Isaiah.
Hi.
God, I mean, I know we talked about this off stream earlier, but
okay.
I want people in the chat here to try to guess what your ethnicity is. And this is
please, by all means.
Since this is the first episode,
dangerous game you're playing, James.
Since this is the first episode, we're just doing introductions. We'll be talking about fighting games as we go, because I know, obviously, with Haomaru coming out on Soul Calibur, that excites, all of us here. But I wonder how many people here actually could guess EbonicPlague's ethnicity.
Some people in the chat might actually know. So I don't know if, that might be cheating. I don't know. But I don't know if others do. So please... Just get. I live for this shit when people
please, racist trolls, come out right now. That's what James just did. All you racist trolls, please, come out.
We've got Filipino in the chat here from Iowa the Boat. Shout outs to Iowa, by the way, one of the strongest Teppen players.
I do not endorse this message right now.
Yo, Teppen?
Yeah.
I was getting into that game at launch, and my phone had a dead zone in the middle. So when I got the new phone, I was planning on playing again, and it just never ended up happening because I play too many phone games anyway.
That's fair, dude. I mean, you talk to or hang out with Kyle P a lot, or no?
I do not. No.
Okay. Because are you
I'm
guys
a bit of an asshole? I'm gonna be honest.
Because also because you hate him and you want to fight him in real life.
Well, not actually, but.
Oh.
No, I mean,
But,
are you guys
no, like legitimately like for quite some time I was total dick to him. And like
That's funny.
and like you know,
Why?
look, a couple of years ago, like I've been trying to be a better person, all right? That's all I'm just gonna say. It's like I've been trying.
All right.
Wait, who have we invited on this podcast here, Brandon?
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Not only did we bring on someone apparently,
The body.
we actually brought someone who was an asshole to Kyle P for absolutely no reason. Kyle P is like one of the nicest guys out there.
That is true.
And you were an asshole to him, but also in
You're
this
just a bully.
in this day and age, I mean, in this current climate we live in, we brought in a person named EbonicPlague into this.
You know, there's been a couple of jokes about me changing my name because you know this is a really bad time to be named EbonicPlague. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean,
I might have fucked up.
Do you drink a lot of beer?
I don't drink any alcohol at all.
Oh, dang! Because
I'm completely straight edge.
I was gonna
No
suggest.
alcohol, no nothing.
I was gonna suggest you name yourself Corona King instead, right? Because that would.
I am not touching those words. It's not happening.
I think that would do a lot better than EbonicPlague right now. No, I mean the reason
I say the word of my people, and that is about it.
the only reason why I brought up Kyle P was because he's going to be in a Teppen exhibition that I'm going to be a part of pretty soon. So.
I thought he was also one of the stronger Teppen players
Yeah,
right now.
he is.
He's very, very, very right.
Yeah,
is what I heard.
Mm-hmm. Do you play Teppen at all, Brandon? Do you play?
No.
You...
This shit is just going right over. You guys are going ham on some Kyle P. Teppen, and I'm just like, sure.
Well, so it was back in the Marvel days, is why. Basically.
I was waiting. Yes.
So I may as well just give the story at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just waiting for you to crack, and it happened.
It's not even.
Do you
that big
know
a
this
deal.
story or
It's
something, Brandon?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I just
okay,
wanna hear
okay.
it.
No, it's legitimately not that big a deal. It's basically just like I was an asshole to Kyle back in the day, and basically I'm just embarrassed of it. So like I have a hard time talking to him because I'm embarrassed about it. But what had happened was
Was he
back in the
bodying
Marvel.
you?
No. I have only ever lost to Kyle in Marvel 3 twice, and both times were after I quit.
Dang.
And,
So you're saying he's a scrub then? So not
no, so back so I thought Kyle could be really, really strong, right? But at the current playstyle that I was beating him at, he had I felt like he really needed to change that up like badly, right?
Huh.
And he wouldn't really ever listen about it. So I just, because of how much of an asshole I was back then, I was just like, all right, dude, like, fuck you, I'm out of here, basically, kind of deal.
I mean,
and,
look.
like, so like I said, it's not really a big deal. I was just embarrassed about being such an asshole to him about it. So I'm just like.
So Brandon, you can confirm. I mean, obviously everybody knows you as Brock, but I'm the only one who calls you Brandon here. But
Yeah, like the whole FGC, there's not many people who call me Brandon.
But
You're one of the few.
you could
Wait, hold on. Are you trying to tell me that one is not your name? I don't understand.
They're both my names.
So
I
think
my last name is Brockman, and
I see. Okay.
yeah, a lot of people started to know me as Brock. And when I came to the FGC, I introduced myself as Brock. But people met me later in the FGC after I became a known commentator. People not in the FGC, like business people, call me Brandon, and other people
right, okay.
started to call me Brandon because that's just how it spread. So
Okay.
yeah, either one works. Is where that whole story was going.
I mean, dude, you have a Captain America mug there and a Stark
Yeah.
Industries shirt, dude. Check you
Yeah.
out. You are all in there. But
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
a fucking nerd.
I feel like, I'm shocked by this, okay? Because I had said that, I really wanted EbonicPlague to join us on this because he's a really nice guy, but it turns out that he used to be an asshole. And I feel like we've kind of made a mistake here, Brandon, because
fair.
both of us are still assholes, right? And he's turned into a nice guy, and I don't know if that's gonna work.
Whoa, hold on. Who said I finished before him? All right, like.
So
No one said I was done.
have you been fooling me this? I mean, because like I said, like you seem like a nice guy, but Tell it to me straight right now, Isaiah. Are you an asshole
I'm
right now?
trying,
Are you
James.
right now? Are you an asshole right now?
I'm trying. James. Why are you coming at me like this? I feel so attacked right now. It is so bad.
Tubo is just like, what the hell is wrong with these people?
What did I sign up for?
This is the old man versus the young man spat.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know,
Don't worry
right?
about it.
You have to learn to respect your elders. Ugh.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you too. I actually I cringe every time I call you a man. I don't think you're an old man.
Bro, he is though.
How old are you, James?
I told you, one of us is in our 40s, one of us is in our 30s, and one of us is in the
If you're in your
20s.
40s, you're not an old man.
What's
Bro,
that?
He is 20 years older than you. He could be your father.
I
Yeah,
could,
he could.
I
he's
could
not.
be your.
Are you sure?
I
Well,
I
Well,
definitely.
I mean, it depends. Does the chat know what ethnicity I am?
That's right. We don't know yet, huh? That's true. That's true.
Because the chat was not even able to guess.
Well, I saw two guesses, and they both said Filipino. So they both guessed that you were Filipino. And
They're
again,
both wrong.
when you asked me and Brandon, we both said you were probably like half Asian or something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And
You guys did say that.
We were all wrong. And even someone in the chat
Yes.
said Filipino. I'm
not
sure of it.
Filipino.
Yeah.
I'm like not even close. Like
I mean, look, Iowa the boat. That's one of the closest guesses that we've had so far.
that is, yeah. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Iowa. You
Just
did a good
let
job.
everybody know what you are.
I am half white, half black. That's it.
Okay.
It's very easy. But everybody wants to go out in all the other fields, and they're like, oh yeah, you're like Samoan and Japanese, right? And I'm like, where does it even come from?
I mean, like I said, you're a fan of video games. You like anime stuff, right? So obviously everyone's gonna think you're
You're a
Asian.
big old weeb.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And so what ethnicity are you, Tubo?
Yeah, please give me that one.
I'm
Yeah.
a big old white guy.
Not to be confused with a regular white guy.
Yeah, no, I'm a big old Midwestern white dude.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we've already talked about Isaiah a bunch. Tell me about yourself, Brandon.
Yes, please.
Yes, tell us.
I
Tell
want
us.
to know.
What is your FGC history here? Because you've been around for a long
man.
time, right?
Shit,
How long
now,
have you been
yeah,
around?
now
How
I
long?
have been. I'll just say 09.
Oh, you are.
Sigma 10 years ago. 10, yeah.
So
10
you're
years
an
later.
09er. So I hate it that 09ers are veterans now. That really
Yeah,
bothers
hold that shit.
That really bothers me.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
You should have seen this coming, James.
I came in a year before him then.
Really?
Yeah.
I just say 09
That's
because
crazy.
So wait, you started playing?
I actually started in 2008.
Oh, okay. So
But
wait,
it's
no,
just
no, no,
easier to say I'm an 09er because that's when I took it seriously.
I lied. I think it should be 09.
Okay.
Because I came in with Brawl.
Oh,
Brawl came out in 09.
okay. So you started playing fighting games when you were like 3 years old, then, right? So.
Actually, yeah. I think it was
Oh,
either
man.
Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat was one of my first fighting games.
I was trying to make a joke, and it's true. Ugh.
I mean, maybe.
That sounds about right.
Ugh.
I went to my first tournament on my 15th or 14th birthday or something like that.
Oh man, dang!
It's been a while. I've forgotten at this point.
You went to your first Evo. You said when you were 13.
Brawl came out in 2008. Okay, so never mind. Sorry, I'm an 08er.
You're an 08er. Okay, so in other words, EbonicPlague, you've been in the scene almost longer than Tubo then.
I mean,
Maybe.
probably about the same.
But I was a Smash player for several years, so fighting games are separate from that, in my personal opinion.
Oh, okay. So
I
wait,
didn't
so
start playing fighting games until I didn't start entering FGC tournaments, I should say, until Blaze Blue CT.
so you are actually of the controversial opinion that Smash Brothers is not a fighting game or not
No,
part
that's
of
not
the
what
FGC.
I said that the communities are separate.
The communities are separate. No, I heard you
communities are
say that Smash wasn't a fighting game, that it was a scrubby game, and that I'm
That's what I
trying to.
heard too.
I'm trying to get on
this is
Smash.
why-
Can confirm.
This is why
Can
the old men are
confirm.
dying, is because they got Alzheimer's can't hear well. Like shit.
I'm trying to get us onto all of the Smash Brothers Reddits so that they would all come in here and yell at us here. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Smash boards, you know.
Minute amount of people will remember me from Smash. I think at this point, like,
Yeah, but if they hear James Chen is saying the Smash sucks, they're gonna come through with their pitchforks.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
How dare that Tetris commentator come at us?
All right. So
Yeah,
let's.
That's how I wanted to introduce James. I was gonna be like, yeah, we got a Hollywood Tetris commentator, James Chen, here today.
Can you believe I've never been? The only time I've ever been on TV for commentary is for Tetris, not for fighting games. I've never
You're
been.
Asian, dude. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly, because I'm Asian, right? Because the media, because
Jeremy Lin paved the way for you, James. What the hell? Take advantage, all right?
Yeah, Jeremy Lin also paved the way for Pershaw to sub with Tier 1 with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the
Oh
sub.
wow, thank you, Furshaw. Thank you for the sub there.
Yeah, he's a PNW Smash player. So.
Oh really? Oh nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you know him? Okay. Cool.
Damn, you talk shit about Smash and they come out here giving you money. That's
They
wild.
already know.
Dang, he's challenging you in Smash. Furshaw is actually dang. He's calling
Bro.
you. He just called you FGC commentator's son.
Bro, Shaw, were you around when I played Brawl? I don't even remember that. If you were, I forget. That's
Oh,
God.
man.
I was small. I was a small.
I
little
started playing fighting games. You know what? I probably did start playing fighting games before you were born.
nugget. More than likely, I would be surprised if you told me you didn't. Do
Uh,
you know when I was born, James? Do you want to know when I
I
was
don't
born?
want to. Actually, it would have to be around like 95 or 96 that you were born, right?
Close.
97?
You're going too high.
Oh, okay. So you were born in 93, 92?
94.
94. Okay,
Yeah,
so
94 is when I
when
was
did I start playing Street Fighter? Ooh, that's a
Street
question.
Fighter came out in 92.
Two, yeah.
91,
So I have
92.
definitely been playing Street Fighter. So you're one of those people who doesn't know what the world is like without Street Fighter. When you were born into it, Street Fighter was a thing.
Well, I mean, for me, it was more like I was playing Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, those games as a child, rather than Street Fighter. I wasn't a big fan
they
of.
existed though before you were
They
born.
did exist.
I was
true.
playing
I
Killer
was never
Instinct.
in a world where that never was a thing.
I was playing
That's
Killer
wild.
Instinct in my college arcade.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Was it fun?
No, actually, the game sucked. The game was not People don't know what it's like to play those old like anyone wants to complain about fighting games nowadays have no idea how bad fighting games were back in the day.
I mean, but the thing is we do, James, because we can still play them. They still exist. They didn't go away. Like that's the thing is like we can still, and some arcades still have them. Like I've definitely played BBH in hyper fighting at ground control, and you can ask him about my fucking Ken. You can ask him about my Ken
Okay, all right,
and
I'll
how
ask you about
godlike
that.
my Ken is. All right.
Dude, Lord BBH and I have a photo from E3 before it was E3. I think it was
Yeah.
like the Consumer Electronics Show, where I played in a Marvel Superheroes tournament, and he played in that as well at the Capcom booth. And this is before anything was even big, so nobody was there. It was only just like businessmen, so nobody knew what they were doing. And then I showed up and started doing all these crazy Spider-Man combos, and everybody was like, what the hell? And everybody watching was like, oh my God. And afterwards, the Capcom guys were like, dude, that was awesome. Thanks for making our game look good. Here's a bunch of keychains and stuff. And
That's it.
I won a copy of the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil 1. And
No,
and the
really?
thing that makes
With
me
the box art and everything?
Yes, and the thing that makes me sad is I lent it out to a friend and I never got it back.
Oh, that sucks.
So when I actually graduated and got a job, one of the first things I did was I bought one off of eBay just because I was like, I'm so mad that I lost it. I do still have the keychains, Flashy Flash. I actually still have the keychains. It's like a little
That's
Adon, a little Sodom, and stuff like that. They're all in my closet right now, so I know exactly where they are, which is the
Those are
crazy
like
thing.
good giveaways.
Yeah. That's godlike, dude.
I mean,
oh my god.
I would give them away, except they're mine.
Wow.
They're a part of my history.
James Chen confirmed hoarder.
Dude.
So that reminds me of like recently there's been talk about like preserving like the FGC history, and that's like a piece of history right there. God, that's so cool.
I actually have a giant collection too of like T-shirts from a bunch of the different events and all the lanyards.
Confirmed hoarder.
I've never thrown away any of the lanyards from any of the video game events, so I have them all hanging in my closet as well. So yeah, I try to collect it because like I've always thought to myself, if at any point in time we ever actually get to a point where we can have a fighting game museum, dude, I would donate all of that shit, like, right away. Like, no question. Like, here you go. Take all my fucking stuff and, like, let's display it and show it to everybody. So, but, I mean, if you've seen my house, dude, talk to Olaf, dude. Just message him and be like, how messy is James's house? And then Olaf would be like, oh, my God. He
doesn't know where to put anything.
He'd get so mad. He'd get so mad. Because I hoard everything.
Clean up your shit, James.
Half of my garage is taken up by empty boxes, and you know, Olaf's tried to get me to throw them away, and I won't. Like, I just.
So, I'm gonna derail you. I'm sorry, because this originally started with us asking Brandon his history of the FGC, and we got absolutely fucking nowhere.
Hey, you know, I just wasn't gonna be rude. I didn't want to, you know, interrupt the conversation. All right.
Look.
We were talking about me, and then you guys just took it away.
I mean, look, you can absolutely do anything you want. You can come and charge at us and punch the lights out of us because you think we're murdering people on a reality show.
I would never do that.
I've
never done such a thing.
You would never do that, huh?
I've never done such a thing. No.
So you're saying you're a coward, is what you're saying.
Dude, look. I'm not even gonna like joke around with anybody. No, like real talk here. Like Brandon is a hero, dude. He's a fucking hero. He's. I mean, granted, you beat the crap out of someone who actually wasn't about to murder someone, but you didn't know that. You had no idea. So
yeah. I guess for those of you that probably don't know, I was on Scare Tactics like 10 years ago, and I was set up to think a guy was gonna murder someone, and instead of letting him murder the person, I tackled him and beat the shit out of him.
I'm gonna look for the I've definitely watched them, and I was like, yo, that's him.
Because the thing is,
I
like,
can link you. Hold on.
They set you up like you were at one of those catching a cheater shows, right? And so
yeah. I thought it was like cheaters.
Right.
That's what they had told me.
And
Hold on, I saved the video. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up just to put it in the chat. I just wanted to put, like, in case anybody hadn't actually seen this. 'Cause it's so good.
It's so good. I mean, literally, you know, I mean, there's not that many people, I would say, in the FGC who have ever tried to save somebody's life to that degree, you know?
No, definitely not.
I mean, Yipes, TuboWare.
Here
you go. Those are the two guys, dude. Those are the two guys.
I threw it in the chat with this timestamp. If anybody wants to watch it, it's there.
It's so good, guys. Please give that a watch in the chat.
You sound embarrassed by this, dude. Like,
I just don't. You know, I don't like to feel like a braggart.
I swear, I would have it like on my resume. I would go to jobs and be like, "Hey, look I was on Scare Tactics and I beat the shit out of this guy that I thought was murdering some woman."
You know, they might actually that might count against you, because in a lot of jobs, they don't want you to be a hero.
That's right. Yeah.
So like,
that's actually true. That's a good question.
They get sued for liability and shit.
So Hitoshura in the chat asks, "Do you get royalties for that kind of thing?"
I got exactly $100. And that was
kill
it.
Are you serious?
That was it. Yep.
Secure the bag.
You got old
$100.
tournament winnings, dude.
Dude, I've definitely made more playing fighting games than I got for that.
You won
and to top it off, that skit was on VH1's Top 40 Greatest Pranks.
Really?
And VH1 put that on rerun for like 3 years. So I got none of that money either.
Man, why didn't you call Ultra David at the time, dude? He would have.
Didn't know him. We're about a year and a half or so from meeting at that point.
Oh, jeez. That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That actually
Damn, I've known
So
David
that's why you
forever.
started playing fighting games, right?
Yeah, to take revenge. So I was already playing fighting games at that point.
You're like, I could beat someone up in real life. I should do this virtually too. So there you go.
No, I have been playing fighting games since I don't know, I was 6 or 7 years old.
Dang. Okay.
But I didn't ever compete until HDR came out.
Oh, real HDR was the one that got you.
HDR was my first tournament. Yeah. So that's why I say I'm an 08er, but I wasn't like on SRK or anything at that point. I didn't care to make an account until Street Fighter 4 came out because I played HDR to get ready for 4.
Okay.
I was pumped about 4 because at that point I was
okay.
old enough to where I could travel and go to tournaments and shit like that, and even if it was only like 1 or 2 tournaments a year that I could afford, I could still do it.
When did you meet like Keats and everybody, and then I mean,
oh man,
because eventually you became like, in case the people in chat don't know, this is the guy who is the best at hosting all the auction tournaments. He's the one who auctions off all the teams and everything. So you've been doing that at Keats's events and now at Combo Breaker all the time, right? So
yeah.
So how did you meet?
So my break into meeting fighting game people that I, for lack of a better term, matter, I guess. I met Gutex and Edma when they walked into my job 2 days before Evo.
What?
Wait, what?
Dead serious. I worked loss prevention at Best Buy in the Best Buy near Evo, and I was already playing these games and watching all these videos.
Wait, you lived in Vegas at one point?
I lived in Vegas when Street Fighter 4 came out. Yeah.
Dang, I had no idea.
So Evo was my first major too ever.
And you went there because dude, I swear I remember them talking about going into a Best Buy and like meeting somebody who
who they met. Yeah, that was me.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah, that's wild. So that's how I met Gutex. And I had like already known Gutex, and I already started like watching videos. Like I knew who it was when he walked in. I was like, "You're Gutex," and he was just like, "Oh shit!" He recognized me, like he was pumped about that. So
That's
him and I got to talking, and Ed was very clearly frustrated. It had nothing to do with it.
Goddamn.
Yeah, me and Gutex are just blah Street Fighter. Ed's like, I'm gonna go get the monitors that because I literally think they was gonna get Evo monitors, the VH248.
Right, yeah.
They ended up using for years and years.
Edma seemed
That's what they came
annoyed,
to pick up.
There's no way, man. I can't imagine Edma looking annoyed at anything.
Yeah, right.
Edma's a good.
They got out of there. Me and Gutex exchanged numbers, and that's how I got connected to the greater FGC.
So you actually went to Evo that year because they showed up then?
No, I was already planning to go. I'd already been practicing with local community and everything. So I was playing with like Ruin and Peter Saw and all the Vegas cats.
Like, was Danny Leong out there when you were out there?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Trophy Club was there. I don't know if you remember him. He's a CVS2 player.
The name sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, he went to some tournaments in NorCal and SoCal and placed in most of them.
Dang, that's so fun.
But yeah, so I got some really good people to teach me how to play games. But
then, like I said, how did you like end up, knowing Keats really well and everybody?
Oh man! All right, so the story of me meeting Keats. Keats took over Midwest Championships from Dream Theater one year.
Yes, Jason Wilson. Wilson. Shout outs to Mr. Wilson.
And I went to Evo 09. I didn't go to anything. I had moved back to Illinois in the process of that time, and then Midwest Championship was coming up. So this is my second major.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to learn how to run tournaments and do all that shit, blah, blah, blah.
Cool.
So me and Humbag and some other people from Central Illinois got to MWC a day early, and Humbag already knew Keats. Like, they were already pals from playing Third Strike and shit like that. And so I was like, yeah, man, introduce me. Like, I want to help out. So he introduced me to Keats, and I'm like, hey, man, my name's TuboWare. How can I help out with the tournament? And Keats looked me right in the eyes, and he said, you can help me best by staying the fuck out of my way. And he walked away from me. And I was just like, what the fuck?
There's another guy that I can't ever possibly imagine saying something like that, you know?
And
Wow.
immediately after that, it was like, you know, like sometimes you meet a cat and the cat's not interested in being your friend? That's
Yeah.
what Adam was to me. I was like, I'm going to conquer this son of a bitch and we're going to be best friends. And now Adam and I are like best friends.
That's
So-
awesome.
So good.
Well, how did you turn that around? I mean,
I just didn't go away.
okay, so you didn't do what he told you to do.
Yeah, no, I just didn't go away. Like, no, in that moment I went away, came back like an hour later. I'm like, okay, you ready for me to help now? And I don't remember exactly what happened from there, but I remember helping set up some shit and whatever, and then it just grew from that. We hung out a lot when MWC was dying down. I think we got food after and stuff, and
That's
we've just been friends
hilarious.
ever since.
That's actually really funny. Oh, cool. And
Yeah.
then obviously through Keats, then you met Rick, and
Yeah.
from there. So I mean, you and Rick are also super good friends as well, right?
Yeah, Rick is the reason I'm in Minneapolis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so another transition. So all this stuff, blah, 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 things happen. I moved from Illinois to St. Louis. Worst choice of my life. I fucking hate St. Louis. Sorry to AC Steve. That place sucks.
I've heard a lot of. I mean, I've talked to Steve about that a little bit too.
Yeah, no,
so,
Steve knows how I feel.
Yeah.
Because Steve's a good friend too. But yeah, he knows how I feel. But anyways, terrible place. And then Yomicon 2015 hired me, Tasty Steve, and Yipes to do commentary. I think those are the only people they were flying in.
Gotcha.
So they flew us in to do commentary. Rick was there overseeing their fighting game stuff. And he's like, dude, I know how much you hate St. Louis. I think I can get you a job in Minneapolis.
Whoa.
So his wife, Kat, was quitting her job, and I was taking her position.
Oh, interesting.
okay.
So I moved. I did that. I got the job, obviously. I moved here. It was at the time, the most money I'd ever made in my life. Things were great. And then I ended up getting laid off. But that's the whole different thing. But yeah, that's Rick. Rick is the reason I'm here because he helped me get that chance to get real job experience. So
Yeah.
You've actually
That
had a
was super
chance to.
dope.
You've actually had a chance to like meet their new baby as well, huh?
I met Tira. I'm one of the very few FGC people that have.
Oh, so
Shit,
cute.
maybe the only, to be honest.
I see pictures on
Wow.
Facebook all the time. So.
Yeah, she's a cutie. She was very, very tiny when I met her.
Oh yeah. Of
She's
course.
much larger now.
Oh man. Huh.
Gotta
Okay.
feed that kid.
And then.
No, they have been. They have been.
And
Yeah, she's large now.
I mean, I don't know if people. I mean, my history would take like the next like 7 hours to tell my history because I'm.
I mean,
so
you can give
fucking
us like
old.
brief summations. You don't have to do that.
I mean, I started playing fighting games and like 20 fucking years later, here I am. So
Yeah.
it's
That's the story.
It's basically how. I mean, honestly, it all started when my brother actually was at UCLA. So my older
Okay.
brother was at UCLA, and he just called me when when he was over there. He's like, dude, there's this crazy new video game called Street Fighter 2. You need to check it out. It's like all this cool
Crazy
stuff.
new game, bro. Street Fighter
Dude,
2.
seriously. I mean, look,
Radical.
dude, that's my life. Like, I remember when I turned 21, like, my friends called me over. They didn't know I turned 21, but they're like, dude, you have to come over to our house. We got the Final Fantasy VII demo. Come check it out. You can check out the Bahamut's, summon and stuff. And that's what I did.
Is that the
on my-
one that came with the magazine on the disc?
I think so, yeah. It was like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
those. Or it came with a game or something like that. I can't remember.
Because the old PlayStation ones were the like multiple disc demo.
Oh,
thing. I used to
yeah,
have a ton
like
of those things.
in the
I used to have a ton
PlayStation
of them.
magazines, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Back in the day, the only way I ended up playing Gex was through the demo because we couldn't afford to get another game.
That's all you needed, man. I mean, that pretty much told you what the whole game
Yeah, I know.
was.
You got that. You played it. You're like, good enough. I get the game.
Yeah, Gex is not worth it.
Thanks.
Oh man. But yeah, no. I mean, he told me about the game, and then I visited him at college during my spring break because our spring breaks were different. So I just hung out with him in Los Angeles at UCLA. And yeah, I started playing Street. No, actually, before we did that, we actually tried to find one at a local arcade where our parents lived. And when you live in San Bernardino and Highland, like you don't go to random arcades. Okay, that's just like not a good idea. But
What are you trying to tell me? You wouldn't throw somebody in an arcade?
Dude,
You trying to get stabbed, bro?
San Bernardino, dude. Oh my god. Like, I think San Bernardino for the longest of time was like fighting Washington D.C. as the murder capital of the United States or something like that. So, you know, San Bernardino. I mean, growing up, I was one of those kids that when I was growing up in high school, I had to be careful not to wear a lot of blue or red stuff because, you know, it was just, it was dangerous.
Coward.
Yeah, I mean, like,
You should have wore blue and red. I
I should have just wore
both of them can get these hands.
just wear purple. There you go. And then, you know.
Gold, become Aztec kings.
I mean, we had one day in our high school shut down because that day was supposed to be there was a big planned gang battle that was going to happen in the quad. And so the school just shut the school down that day. So just to kind of avoid that. So, God. Yeah, so, I mean, you don't go around to random arcades, but we did. And we found Street Fighter 2 there. I actually met a couple of really good friends over there, too. And some people that I have actually, I do consider very close friends that I don't get to talk to much these days. But as a result of going to that arcade, I've met a lot of these guys. So it was actually really cool.
It's like the sickest part about our like FGC histories is like all the people we've gotten to meet and do great things for us, and we get to do great things for them.
Except for Kyle P, apparently, right?
Yeah, except for Kyle P. Everyone's biggest enemy, Kyle P.
Kyle, I'm sorry. Okay. I've been too embarrassed to say hi. I'm sorry.
There you go. All right, cool. We've got it officially on record here. So
Somebody clip that and send it to Kyle P.
I know,
you
right?
Whatever the fuck you want. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I might play Teppen. We'll see.
Oh, man. Ooh, do you play any mobile games at all, Tubo?
I've been playing Pokemon Go when I was commuting to work.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Hey,
But-
you know, that's stuff. That's exercise and whatnot.
So,
But you know, I don't have to commute anymore. So why would I keep playing that? I'm not gonna go outside.
I don't know. You can hatch eggs.
I
don't actually know how that works. I'm
you have
just
to walk.
saying words.
You have to go places, and the more steps, the more
oh, gotcha.
eggs you can hatch. And but yeah, it's all about going. It's not Pokemon Sit.
Yeah, I never installed that game, so I have no idea. Because I
Yeah.
never go anywhere anyway.
I'm literally too old for Pokemon. By the time Pokemon came out, I was already in college, and I was like, I don't want to play this game. It's like a kiddie game. It was like the kiddie RPG, so I didn't actually.
Well, I mean, it was.
Right,
Fair.
and so I didn't get it. Like
How dare you, James?
I completely,
I'm offended.
I completely missed the Pokemon boat.
Go play Pitfall on your Atari 2600. All right.
Dude, that game was kind of not good. Pitfall 2, though. Pitfall 2 is one of the greatest video games, dude. You can.
Did I really just cause you to go off on a tangent about Pitfall 2?
Dude, have you played Pitfall 2?
We're talking about Pitfall?
Dude, I dare anybody who watches this to go and play Pitfall 2 and get a perfect score in that game. That game, it was so good. Like, there was one specific path you could take to get a perfect score, and it was so good. That game was so good.
That's what I think of when I think of good games.
Dude,
I want
it was
one way to get a perfect score, and that's be in a linear fashion.
No,
every
it's not a
time.
linear. That was the thing. It was super exploration, and you had to find the right path. And it was designed really intelligently. And not only that, it was the first game that actually had like background music the entire time that was intelligible. Like literally, and they based it off of the Pitfall cartoon that was on Saturday morning.
Can't say I watched that ever once.
I watched a lot of Saturday morning cartoons.
I didn't even know Pitfall had a
Past
cartoon.
my time.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, two of the things that you had to do to get the highest score was rescue your niece and also rescue the Quick Claw. I don't think it was a cat. It was like a panther or something. I don't know. But they were from the cartoon, too. So it's like, this is the lore. Come on.
Yeah, bro. Come on. How do you not know
All right,
this,
one
bro?
of these episodes, we're going to just stream you playing Pitfall 2. And then I want you to... you're not going to laugh at that game ever again, dude. Because that game is amazing. Game is amazing.
Who was laughing at the game, though? Like, we could just see...
I'm just laughing that you remember Pitfall too.
Dude, it was one of the most influential games of my entire childhood, man. Come
He
on.
specifically mentioned Pitfall 1, and then like it exploded into a rant about
Oh,
Pitfall 2.
I remember a thing that I wanted to bring up. So, James, I was just watching your stream.
Okay.
I was just watching your stream, and you were complaining about Lucia, and you know what you convinced me of?
What's that?
Lucia is definitely top 5 in Street Fighter 5 today. 100%.
Fuck you.
Because the last time I heard you say these things, they were about Cammy in Super Street Fighter 4.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
So this character is for sure top 5.
Fuck you, dude.
For sure. I'm
Look.
just sitting there like, oh man, he's in the same Cammy. His character is gotta be the best.
I have definitely come around on that. This time, for sure, I am correct, dude.
Yeah, you thought for sure back then when you were flipping tables, you were correct too.
Well, the problem with it was mostly an AE as well. When AE came out, I thought she sucked because they changed the way she played, and it turned out that the reason why she was good was for a really stupid way that I didn't enjoy playing, so I never won with her that way. It was the stupid Vortex bullshit. Back throw into unblockable, back throw into fucking Vortex. And I was like, this is the stupidest shit ever. So I never got good. And once I accepted the fact that that was the way you had to play her, I was like, fine, she's good. Dude, but before that, I mean, she was good in Super as well, too. So
Yeah. If we went back and played that game, she would have been like top 3 for sure.
Yeah, and even in vanilla, dude, I actually think in vanilla she was actually super good. She just didn't have a cross up. That was her only weakness in vanilla. But outside of that, she was. I mean, you did uppercut, FADC uppercut. That was 300 fucking damage, dude.
It was a lot.
She did. When I fought Seth, if I ever uppercutted his jumping fierce, like you could dash forward and walk, and then uppercut again. Yeah, you would lose like 2/3 of his. He would lose like almost. God, I'm Asian. I can't do math. Fuck. He would
You're
lose
Asia.
like.
You just said that.
I said Asian. God damn it.
It's okay, I'm black. I can't read. Don't worry about it.
Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, but yeah, no, I think in vanilla she was also probably would have been one of the strongest characters. Her and Gen. A lot of people don't realize how broken Gen was in
I think people came around to it after a while though.
Yeah.
They went back to it after Super came out. They were like, "Oh shit, Gen was
Yeah,
not
because the
okay."
patch notes,
Like,
the patch notes came out, and Gen got nerfs, and people were like, "Why would you fucking nerf this bad character?" And then Guile had like 2 small buffs, and they're like, "Why would you only do that?" And then Guile turned out to be like the best. So
Yeah, guy was really good.
people didn't. I mean, look, Seth Killing was in charge at that time, dude. He knew what he was doing, dude.
Dude, that reminds me of when Seth like broke the news that they nerfed Jill in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on, bro? Why would you nerf this character?" And then it turned out she had an infinite block string, and that's what it was. That's what they nerfed about Jill. They never said it in the patch notes or officially, but it turned out she had an infinite block string, regardless of push block, that was meterless.
Really?
And none of us found it.
I don't think I ever knew about that. Holy crap.
None of us found it. Yeah, so they took it out, and we were all like, "Why would they nerf this character? What was she doing? You know, like."
Jill was one of those characters. I mean, Flashy Flash. Her and Shuma got taken down from the store when before MVCI, when Marvel was like, "Nope, Capcom's done," you know, and they just took everything away. And,
unfortunately, that's a Marvel thing, not really a Capcom thing.
I mean, I still have these. I helped on the Marvel Superheroes game fan guide, and it never got published. And I went in there, did all this work, helped record, and the guy was so sad that it never got published because Marvel took forever to give him back to him. And when they did, everything was like, correct this, change this. They are really anal about their property, even back then. Nowadays, they're even worse than they've ever been before. But, you know, they are a pain to deal with, man. Yeah, Game Fan Magazine.
I remember one of the MVCI trailers was like, they specifically said you cannot show Marvel characters getting beat up or losing or whatever for the trailers. So Capcom had to beat up their own characters and shit.
Yeah, like, the guys in the EU said that, they weren't allowed to ever beat up on the Marvel characters.
I have a
sad.
lot of feelings about where we can go with the MVCI talk.
I mean, I
know,
I think
right?
at this point I've expressed my feelings publicly on Twitter many a time.
I haven't.
Like, yeah, just as a little interesting side note, too, I mean, for those of you who actually remember Game Fan Magazine, Gerald Abraham, a.k.a. L.A. Akira, the guy who runs Okamoto Kitchen, used to work there, too. So it's not where I met him, but it's where I got to know him because I would go out there and help him with a bunch of stuff. So, and he would always come to UCLA, and they tried to teach me VF2, and I could never get VF2. That game just never made sense to me, so... Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Tubo, you have a lot of opinions on Marvel.
Yeah. I kind of don't want to get into it because I have learned recently that I can say things and it'll lose me commentary gigs. So
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I'll just keep my mouth shut on how I feel about everything around MVCI.
Yeah. That's
I hear that, buddy.
one of the weirdest things. I mean, obviously, one of the reasons that the three of us are on here is that we're all commentators. But, you know, it's always it's one of those weird things about commentary that a lot of people don't talk about. It's like a lot of the weird dancing you kind of have to do, which sucks, too, because then a lot of people are always like, well, I bet you can't say this and blah, blah, blah. And I can't be like, no, that's not how it... But then it kind of is, you know, sometimes. So, but at the same time, I mean, I've been pretty damn, like... There was one point in time where I swear me and David, all we ever did was argue about whether or not Street Fighter V was good or bad, you know, even on the Tuesday show. So I would just be like, God, the problem with Street Fighter V is blah, 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 blah. Because, like, I had a massive issue with the game. I still do have an issue with the game. I still think that there's one particular thing that's really, like, not well designed about it. It's just the game doesn't make you feel happy. Like, honestly.
I really, really loved Street Fighter V in Season 1.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed that version of the game.
Okay,
like,
okay.
To a ridiculous degree. It was the game I was playing the absolute most.
Okay.
I think it's actually still, despite the fact that I haven't played it on Steam very much in years, it's probably still the second most played game in my Steam library. I was playing it nonstop. I love Street Fighter
Who are you
V.
using?
I played Karen.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was
okay.
Karen player.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And I mean,
My favorite character to beat up on was Mika because everybody was like, this character's ridiculous. How do you stop dropkick and everything like that? And that was the only thing I ever practiced on stopping was like dropkick or body splash was like reacting to that.
Okay.
And I felt like I invalidated that character like personally, but like I really love Street Fighter V Season 1, right? And I saw everybody like talking so much shit about it, and I was like, for it as a regular video game, talking shit about it makes so much sense to me.
Right.
It didn't have a rematch button. There was no story mode or anything like that. All this
no
shit,
arcade
right?
mode.
You remember this? You remember having to do this?
Yeah,
the
the
worst.
fucking thumbs up.
Thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up.
God damn it.
But I thought as a competitive versus mode game, I loved it. The only thing I hated about it was that there was both a priority system and crush counter at the same time. Those things don't mix. I think crush counter is an incredible system, but not while there's also a priority system.
Yeah, and also...
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead. I was
the reason that is because it encourages you whipping a heavy button.
Yes.
Where some way, like just at all times. Well, not all times, but you get the point. It encourages to do so more often.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to win you at every fucking avenue, but.
I mean, it's the reason why I still think that Street Fighter V needs proximity normals, and you know, people who know me know I'm all about this proximity normals stuff.
Have you heard of Grand Blue?
Yeah, exactly. I like it in Grand Blue because they did it right. They didn't want you to be able to chain from so far away, so they created proximity normals. So that's kind of the idea of how it works. And that they could have did the exact same thing in 5, that there was no far move that could crush counter. If all of your crush counter buttons were the close-up buttons, then it would have served the purpose it was supposed to, which was to beat out jabs and beat out pokes and crush counter that way and, you know, punish uppercuts as opposed to, you know, hey, I'm Balrog, I'm going to throw out heavy kick and then just, like, punch everyone from fucking 10 miles away, dude.
Yeah, but then you have to pay for the animations of close and far normals.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, there was
Double
also
the
like
normal set.
there was also wanting to make the game more simple, which
Yes.
they did
Mm-hmm.
from Street Fighter 4, because that was a big gripe for a lot of people, as the game was not nearly as intuitive for some people.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
Ooh.
And not
well, I mean, hey, look, it led to having one of the largest entered events that's ever happened, was making a game that was dumbed down, and it's
I feel like they could have not done that and it would have been the same result because of how fast Street Fighter 4 was growing regardless.
right. Yeah.
I don't think that mattered. I think Street Fighter 5 could have been the deepest, hardest game ever, and it still would have 5,000 entrants because Street Fighter 4 was so big at that point.
Yeah, I kind of
fair.
feel that way a little bit too. But I mean, then again, I'm old and I don't like all this dumbing down shit. So you know.
Well, I'm just saying, it's happening in so many games, and the games are only getting bigger despite the fact that they're dumbing down, right? Like Grand Blue is huge right now. Street Fighter 5 has been huge.
I mean, even as much as I say that, you know, I do agree with Tubo on that, but at the same time, you know, one of the things that I talk about a lot is you look at Tekken and how much more popular Tekken 7 is, and you talk to all the Tekken pros, and they tell you that Tekken 7 is very dumbed down compared to a lot of the other Tekken games, despite it being so hard. But like getting up off the floor is like so much easier in Tekken now, and so
I do not want to imagine a world where I have to play the old Tekkens where getting up off the floor is hard, because I can't understand it. Version of the game.
Dude, right? I can't get off the floor right now.
I have watched like 12 tutorial videos and played like 100 hours of matches, and I was just like, I don't understand how to get up. Like,
Dude, it's so freaking
Can you
hard.
not just hit buttons? You can't just stand up that way? I don't know shit about that game.
I don't mean like actually physically getting your character off the ground. I mean like picking and choosing the best ways to get up or not getting up, and that kind of philosophy.
Because you can hit one kick and makes you do a high kick. You can do another kick that makes you do a low kick. You can roll, and then you can tech off it. You can spring kick. You can roll backwards, roll
ground,
forwards.
you
You can roll this way. And if you do something else, then all of a sudden it's up and this to roll one way, and then the button just by itself to roll the other way. Except in this situation where now all of a sudden one of the punches makes you roll one way and the other punch makes you roll the other. Dude, it's like, it's so crazy. It's crazy. And
when it comes to Tekken and how big it's gotten and how much everybody loves like watching it and stuff like that, I was in the same boat.
oh shoot! Hey,
for a really long
Isaiah,
time.
we lost you.
I didn't do it.
You said you were in the same boat, and then we lost you for a second. So are you still
Can you hear
there?
me now though?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
now.
you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Okay. I was in the same boat about like, oh yeah, it's good ass Tekken. I love watching Tekken, you know, or whatever, and I have a lot of fun playing it. I was playing it at my locals, but after a while, the amount of shit that I didn't understand became unfun, right? Like just getting up off the floor being a huge gate, but there wasn't even just that. Like there was so many other things. Like, it was like, okay, so when I block this, like I can do this, but I have to like figure out which button it is or this and that. Like the gate was super big, and like at this point too, I also don't really like watching Tekken too much. I know I'm gonna get crucified for saying that, but it got really stale for a long time. I felt like it was all the same people, characters, all that shit for a really long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like the same things were even happening mid-match. Like
I mean, obviously, the Pakistan situation was a nice breath of fresh air.
It
you know,
was.
for that
Agreed.
game. So yeah. But God, I haven't played Tekken in forever, and there was a point where I was just grinding away at that game. But now I'm actually.
I remember your rage compilations on stream.
You know, I mean, the thing about it is, like I said, I've never really even been embarrassed by that. In fact, I wanted to turn it into my sub notification. You know, me going, ah! You know, I thought that would be a fun sub notification thing. Mostly just because, I mean, that's just how mad people get when they play fighting games, dude. Like, dude, you were watching my stream just now, Tubo. You saw how mad I was getting, dude. So, but I mean,
that was great.
dude, that's all I do is get tilted. That's all I do is get tilted at fighting games, dude.
I don't anymore.
Really?
I do sometimes, but it's pretty rare. Like, it's just, it's too hard for me to get that upset about like losing to random people online.
Interesting.
That is the reason I play. Like, I'll grind online a lot. Like, I'll play a lot of online games. I will fully admit that. But I'm doing it because it gets me ready for like the opponent you face second or third round in your pool, right? That guy who's just good enough and does just enough crazy shit that he's gonna beat the scrubs below you. That's what I'm training for online.
Yeah.
Like
Dude.
if I run into like a top player online and I beat him, like I don't feel accomplished. It's like, oh, I got him that time. It doesn't.
Interesting. You
So like when I enter online tournaments and shit, because I do that sometimes too. Like shout outs to Ronin Rumbles.
Yes.
I come in hoping that I get good matches. I don't come in hoping to win the whole thing. I'm just hoping that I get to play against players that are intelligent.
Now, so you played in Ronin Rumble recently. Was that Grand Blue or Samurai Showdown that you played?
I entered Grand Blue. I took 33rd. I
Oh,
lost
nice.
to two Charlottas, and I played Charlotta.
Oh, really? Mirrors you lost to.
Yeah, well, the first one I played, there was like 8-frame delay. It was real awful.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then that dude played against Tempest, and I think they had a bad connection too, and he beat Tempest.
Oh, shit.
Who,
Okay.
Yeah, it was the best Charlotta, winning everything right now.
Right.
So then I ended up playing Tempest in
Oh,
losers
no.
finals in my pool.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then Tempest came back from losers bracket and won the whole tournament.
Right,
So,
of course.
whatever. But yeah, I was disappointed because I lost to the laggy dude in Tempest. So the laggy match was like, all right, whatever. And then all through my losers bracket, I didn't lose a fucking round. I just dunked everyone until I got it to Tempest, and then of course he bodied me. I think I took one round from him. So.
And let me guess,
I had no good matches. Like it was just a wasted hour and a half of my time. Just
let me guess.
scrubs.
You losing were probably the only matches that were actually streamed as well, or something.
No. I was the first match on stream, and I dunked my opponent.
Oh,
bad.
okay. That's good. Because that was
that was the only time I was on stream that day.
That's my Wednesday Night Fights experience, because I would like beat someone, get on stream, lose, and it's like no one ever saw me win. No one ever saw me win,
That's because they want to put you up against opponents that matter.
Right.
They know that you're just gonna.
I mean, that's the thing, is I would beat people who mattered, like in the middle of sets and stuff like that, but it just wasn't at that point where they would put me up there. I mean, man,
womp womp.
That's the
Shut up,
RNG
man.
streams is you don't always get to beat the person on stream because they're like the bracket run is like, that match will be a wash. I don't need to bring that on stream or whatever, depending on if it's online or offline.
Oh man,
Just how it be.
But I mean, right now, obviously, you're playing a lot of Grand Blue. I mean, are you kind of in the camp right now that you're frustrated with what Sam Show is doing? Because obviously the two of us love Sam Show. We actually got to commentate the top 8 at Frosty Faustings earlier this year. That was actually super sick. But obviously, they're making big changes. They've actually come out with a patch that has some pretty significant changes, which is nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was real disappointed. Also, before I go off on this whole tangent, I think it's fucking hilarious that Mina is not part of the season pack now all of a sudden.
Oh, is she just not?
Wait, what?
She's complete. So the season pass is $13.99, and you get 3 characters. You get Sogetsu, Iroha, and whoever the mystery last character is. Mina's not included. They fucked something up with the launch of her being on the season pack, and they had to exclude her.
They said that they were gonna make up for that, like to people or something like that. Like if
they're just giving people their money back who didn't get the season pass Mina.
Jesus.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, they messed up real bad.
Yeah, they did that, and then obviously there's the Epic Game Store problem, and they're just not. And they're just
I
not.
have a theory on that.
They had it exclusively on Stadia, and then now it's Epic Games.
Right.
Yeah, I think. I think they had a deal with Stadia that they never announced.
Yeah.
More likely, I don't see why they wouldn't have.
And then Epic Game Store was like, "Hey, we'll front you all the money." So they took that, but that sucks. But what I'm most pissed off about is they haven't improved the netcode at all. It just
that's what I keep hearing.
The matchmaking is bad.
It takes forever for you to get a match these days, right?
It does, yeah. It's not like a decent one. Also the netcode is so inconsistent. Like I've played people in Minneapolis, in my own city, that I've had worse connections to than people in like fucking Japan and France. It makes no sense.
Jesus.
It's just so inconsistent, and it's frustrating, man.
I mean, you saw the Sogetsu trailer though, right? So
yeah, he looks cool. I mean,
I missed that one.
Yeah, that one just came out like a couple days ago, I think. So, yeah, I mean, he looks cool. He looks cool, but yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's frustrating because, like I said, but Brandon, I love this game. Like we talked about it all the time. We were always like trying to promote
argue with
it.
David all the time.
Same.
God.
Oh man, but
dude, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with the game.
Sam Show on paper looks like everything I would love about a game. I just haven't tried it yet.
Oh, so
There's just too many damn fighting games.
Yeah. Dude,
I was actually going to transition to that.
Okay.
I think also part of Samurai Showdown's problem is, and people are probably going to take this wrong, is its lack of depth. And I don't mean that it's not a deep game.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean that it's not a training mode game.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not something you have to practice often. And with that comes a lack of people wanting to play it in a weekly in locals. So I think this Samurai Showdown is a bit of a phenomenon right now where all the weeklies and all the monthlies in America, Sam Show numbers are way down. But any majors, the numbers were steady and high.
Right.
And that's because people will enter for majors as a side game because they don't feel like they have to practice it all the time.
Yeah, that's why all the old people.
Yeah, it's a game primarily based on fundamentals.
Right.
There's no hard combos to practice. It's all about reaction, prediction, and punishment.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And that's why
so people don't practice it all the time, but they can still play it at a high level.
And that's why all the old people play it, because we don't have time for fucking all these fighting games. So God damn it. I mean, dude, like I said, I'm grinding Street Fighter V right now, and I was just playing it yesterday, and someone in my chat came in and was like, so do you have to like practice and memorize a lot of setups in Street Fighter V? And I was like, fuck yes, dude. Like that's the whole game.
That's what the game is.
The whole game is about that. Like I'm improving by making sure that after every knockdown I learn the timing to punish quick rise or back roll. You know, like that's how you train in Street Fighter V. So Street Fighter V can be a very training mode friendly game. And you I mean, unless you play Cammy, then you go in there and it's just like you fucking fall asleep because she can't. There's nothing to do with that character. But you know, that's what it is.
Sensing some hostility, James.
Dude, I'm so mad at the way she turned out in this game in Street Fighter V because honestly, I mean, she's good. I mean, I can see Tubo right now going like, you better not say she's bad, man. Like, she's super good. She's just super boring. There's nothing to do with that character. There's nothing to practice. So
yeah, it is. She is very straightforward for sure.
And that's why I like Lucia.
She's straightforward as fuck.
That's why I like Lucia so much, because she's so complicated to the point where I keep fucking things up and forgetting what I'm supposed to do and all these things. And while I get mad and get frustrated about it, that's kind of part of the reason why I like her, you know? Because it feels like I have
Stockholm syndrome, I got you.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm wired like this, but like...
You're a masochist.
I'm a total masochist because when
episode 1, we figured out James kinks.
Look, I said I wasn't going to kink
shame. It took a half episode to I've
added that to my Tinder profile already. So,
I said I wasn't going to kink shame anyone. Okay? You know, if he's
I'm not shaming. I'm going to say we figured it out. That's
we're getting the poison whip out. All right, like we're just going to help James out. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Look, when Granblue came out, the two characters that I thought looked really interesting were Luane and Fairy.
Okay.
And then it turned out Fairy was super good and Luane is not great. And so I was like, I'll play Luane. And then I had no interest in Zeta at all. And then I found out that she wasn't considered that good, and that suddenly made her kind of appealing to play all of a sudden. So
yeah, but you know she actually is pretty damn good, right?
Is she? Does she count as good?
She's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
The way character strength works in Granblue is kind of like how we've always wanted it to be, right? Every character can win. Every character has the ability to do something, right? Some character just has to be the worst in the game, and there's nothing you can do about that because that's just how life is. Like Loane or Vasaraga or whatever, like how people are talking about.
Yeah, but Vasaraga now
they could be the worst in the game, but they still have the tools to win. You know what I mean? They're not so bad that they can't win. With Loane, his Yggdrasil and Human Pyramid, the second you take those to training mode, they do basically nothing, right?
Right.
But he still has the abilities to do shit outside of those, and he can still like outfootsie you if the player is better than you.
The biggest
the
biggest weakness, honestly, that he has is just that he doesn't have a super. So everybody else can confirm into good damage at the ends of rounds, and he just
but he gets a free escape once a round.
Yeah, that's true.
He does because Yggdrasil is actually 0 frames.
Yeah, he gets a free escape. He gets a free escape once a round.
But people have gotten
That's
good
the
at
trade-off.
people have been getting good at punishing Yggdrasil though.
Yeah, it is true.
You
but
know.
I mean, it's a risk that you kind of have to take when you're on the defensive as the character. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that's just indicative of other characters that may not be as strong as some of the other characters in other video games too. Like, it just be like that. But like that's the thing that always like confuses me about Granblue right now is because like sure, like Catalina, Gran, and Fairy and them are like really strong. Like Lancelot, incredible characters, right? But that doesn't mean that these other characters aren't like able to win. It's just these other characters are easier to play and win with a way less effort. Like,
who do you play in Granblue?
I play Narmaya now. I used to play Catalina before she came out.
Okay.
You should have started with Catalina.
Yeah, because Narmaya is kind of on the lower end of things too, right?
That's what people were thinking at first, but now people are starting to come around on the idea of this character. People are starting to come around on the idea of this character, actually. You know, like Kid Viper is doing very, very well with her. Thinks she's a very strong character, actually. Omito has just been bodying people left and right.
Yeah, that's right.
With Narmaya. My mans can play footsies like no other. It's incredible.
Fucking Omito, dude. Ugh. There was that one clip that made rounds of him whiff punishing, and I was just like, "Fucking, I'll never be able to whiff punish like this, dude." That guy's ridiculous.
Like, and that's a very important part of the game, especially because every normal has a hurt box that extends out as far as the hitbox in this game right now, right? And characters that can whiff punish do very, very well. You know, like Gran and Catalina, they can do that almost like no other. Narmaya has that ability, and people just weren't exactly privy to it until recently. I feel like she has been seeming a bit better to some of the higher level players more recently. But of course, we haven't really had tournaments, so there hasn't really been a way to prove that up until you know we're gonna have a few tournament Narmaya sets on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Because Japan is running their gigantic Granblue team tournament based off of all the different fighting games that people came from.
Wait.
There's like a Guilty
Are they
Gear
doing
team,
that online or in person?
It is online.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask.
Online.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, they have to do it online, but it's Japan only.
Okay.
It's gonna go fine.
Yeah, I know, right? Their freaking fiber
code
connection.
issue is not gonna exist there.
Oh God! Every time I used to watch like all those Japanese Street Fighter 5 tournaments, and like you would see them play online, and it looked exactly like offline. I was just like, oh man, if only.
Except for Street Fighter 5 and arcade has issues with.
Arcade is way worse than actually just net playing from home.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's awful, dude. It's awful. Ugh. But hey,
Cap competence.
It's fixed now, so you know.
I've never heard that term. I'm really surprised I've not heard that one.
Good old cap competence. We can count on them.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm like I was trying to play Granblue with some of my viewers as well, and I would run into matches with like 7 frames of lag, and I just couldn't ever block a universal overhead.
Yeah,
Arxis has been historically bad at netcode. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Well, so that's the thing, right?
I have played quite a lot of Arxis games.
That's right, because you were also BB Tag and Blaze Blue and everything. So
they have a secret weapon now, though.
Zynak
for Strive.
Zynak.
They have rollback finally. For Strive.
Well, that's not the secret weapon I was talking about. They have Zynak.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Zynak.
Zynak worked on Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it big.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I'm excited for that.
The netcode for Strive is gonna be fucking fantastic. I can guarantee.
This is the third, basically, I guess, podcast I might be saying this on, and again, I hate saying this because I feel like I'm just setting myself up for disappointment and stuff.
I can't believe you, James.
But here's the thing. if they go into Guilty Gear Strive, which already has the delay netcode, and it's already been put into that game, and they're ripping it out to put in delay-based netcode, that means they have experience. I'm sorry, to put in rollback netcode. That means now they have experience on how to rip out delay-based netcode and put in rollback netcode. So could they possibly go back to Grand Blue Fantasy and... Okay.
Maybe with Grand Blue.
Yeah,
because Gung Ho money
for Grand Blue, but they won't
Side
do it
Games
for
money.
extra fighters.
No way. Yeah, Exer won't happen, but Side Games might have the money to be like, make our game play better, you know.
Yeah. For Grand Blue, it would be a possibility. The other games,
Dragon Ball's definitely
shit out the window.
Dragon Ball's gonna get it. They would have got it with this season update. Yeah. That game is done. They're not gonna update it beyond this season.
Okay. Well, actually, that's a good question. How do you feel about the way the season is playing right now? Because I know you still keep track of Dragon Ball. You're still playing that, right?
I think it's better than last season.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, last season was really unfortunate, but that was only because they tried something work out, but for some reason they stuck to their guns super hard on that.
Yeah, they were just like, we're not balance patching. Deal with it, nerds.
And I mean, like in a lot of games that could be great. To be honest with you, when they were when I was playing Ultimate Marvel, I was like, please don't patch this for a little while. They ended up patching it, but they only did like minor tweaks. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But some of the games I feel like get patched way too frequently, way too fast. And that's me as like a young buck, right, who's used to the patch life.
Well, I mean, like, I think like for example, would you say like something like Soul Calibur is too fast, or BB?
No, Soul Calibur is actually, I think, perfect, probably, in how long it takes to patch something.
And they also have the best patch notes out of everybody by far. So
right now, yes, that's what I was about to say. Is back in the day, Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was gonna say right now, yes, but prior, there was some other games that did very well with that.
And that's like the worst thing about it. I was talking about this on stream yesterday, but like, we're in this weird time where obviously we got to play online. You know, why don't we sit down and really just start trying to give games like Punch Planet and them's Fighting Herds and you know, even like Fight of Animals, Garu Mark of the Wolves, Skullgirls. You
know the answer to that, James.
Killer Instinct, you know. There's
a lot. The answer to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
those games don't have Pro Tours.
There's a couple answers to that, to be honest with you. There's games that don't have Pro Tours that people played anyway.
Battle for the Grid was another one, too, that has good netcode.
Battle for the Grid has a Pro Tour now. Yeah. People have been playing it.
That's true.
The thing is like Exert is still one of the best, most entered games in offline tournaments, despite it not being part of a Pro Tour, even before the Pro Tour for Arxis happened. And that was even with BB Tag being the new hotness. People were still playing Exert over that in a lot of situations. Not every tournament, mind you, but it was still there was a number of tournaments that Exert was being entered at more so, even though there was no World Tour, right? Like, it's not just the World Tour thing. When people, like, I'm gonna use a few games as examples. I'm not gonna say that these are actually indicative of how my opinions or other people's opinions of the game. But when you mention like Punch Planet and them's Fighting Herds and stuff, people know they have GPTPO or good netcode.
Right.
People have probably tried them, and they don't care. Like, it's not good enough to keep playing, or in their eyes, possibly. Or you know, like, whatever. Obviously, yes, it could be that they don't have money, right? Like, that's 100. Like, that's just 100. It's gonna happen like that for a lot of people. But I think that if people wanted to play a game that was quote unquote niche, they would. And the case in point in that is Under Night and Birth.
That's true. It's true.
That game was downhill for a little while, and then it just completely ramped up.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a weird situation because, I mean, obviously I could sit here and say, like, really general statements like, well, Under Night and Birth is an amazing game, but, you know, a lot of these games are amazing games. You know, I mean, I know Automatic was playing a bunch of Punch Planet on stream before. You know, he really enjoyed that game, and I know a lot of people enjoy a lot of these games, but it's just, I guess if you don't see, like, your favorite players playing these games, you just don't get the same kind of investment, you know.
There could be that too, yeah.
If Daigo and all those, I mean, like, nobody used the hitbox. Everybody was like, hitbox, whatever. Daigo's like, I'm gonna use a hitbox. Now everyone's like, I gotta get a hitbox. You know, it's crazy how much that actually makes a difference. So, I mean, David and I have been saying you should be playing on a hitbox forever, but I mean, who the hell?
I mean, it's very clearly the superior controller.
But who the hell listens to me and David, right? I mean,
I think pad is probably still the most superior controller, personally.
No way. Maybe for like Tekken only.
Anime games for sure.
What? No way. Definitely hitbox.
For like CF and stuff like that, I definitely think the pad is a better. The level of shit that you can do within a fraction of the time because of how close everything is, like, is way higher than hitbox.
Huh. I don't know if I can see that.
Like,
yeah, I can't see that either.
So like, obviously this is specific games and it's not every single anime game, right? But like SKD, I feel like has shown off that like hardcore. That pad is just like the superior peripheral for BlazBlue specifically,
right?
And things like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know, maybe Mortal Kombat as well, but I could be wrong about that.
No, Mortal Kombat. Well, until they nerfed it, the hitbox was way too good for Mortal Kombat. Like, they wanted to ban Ryo from using it in MK9 because he could get the perfect low to the ground air Cabal fireballs.
Yeah.
That had basically they were just single shot air hyper viper beams, right? You just shot and landed and you were done. So you just sit there and shot him, and actually, because you know how you could crouch under every fireball in Mortal Kombat, he could do it so low off the jump that it was actually too low to crouch under. The jumping air fireball was lower than the ground fireball. It was crazy.
I mean, it makes sense if it's so low to the ground. Then, like, if it's right before you land, yeah.
I mean, someone in the chat, the Red Fox even mentioned like Sonic Fox is also crazy pad player as well. So
yeah, it has been for a long time. But I also think that like Sonic could do that with a stick or a hitbox or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox
I mean?
could do that with one of those freaking like pillow the driving steering wheel controllers. They can do whatever they want.
The reason why I mentioned a specific player, a la SKD, was because he had specifically like made essays about this shit and talked about why it was the best peripheral to do for this game kind of deal.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I mentioned a specific player. Not because like I think a specific player can make this peripheral the best thing ever, because that wouldn't make it actually the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. It's the peripheral itself that makes it has to make it the best thing.
Huh, interesting. So, I'll have to go look and see some of the things that SKD talked about.
It was a really long time ago, but I remember reading all the stuff he used to say. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Cool. I mean, we don't really have any like time frame or anything. We've been going for about
we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, we've been going for about an hour, 15 minutes. I don't know. Do you guys want to keep going? I know it's late for you, Tubo, but you're up pretty late all the time anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's irrelevant to me until we hit like 1 a.m. I'm good, so.
1 a.m. is what, 11 o'clock our time, Isaiah?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we can kill it. This is only intro stream, right?
Right.
Like, we have to.
And we've kind of already started going. I mean, this is kind of how I'm hoping it's gonna go. I mean, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, because I'm gonna upload this upon YouTube as well. I mean, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you like the kind of format where we just kind of ramble on, or we'll start with a topic, but obviously you can see that it'll just go in every direction, and that's kind of how we want to do it here. And that's, we just let it go however direction.
Yeah, like we'll have a couple of topics here or there, because obviously there's going to be current events that we want to talk about. But, other than that, it's not going to be indefinitely those topics.
Right. We can sit here and, make the stream guess on what Isaiah's ethnicity is, cause,
it's already been revealed.
Yeah, I know, right?
Every stream, that's what we're doing. That's where we're starting.
That's how we're starting it. We're going to rename the show to What's Isaiah's Ethnicity. That's just what we're going to call it. So,
we should just call it race change. Just call it race change.
Oh, my God. Oh, so bad. Race change. That was Yipes talking about
Urian
Urian. Yeah.
some of us used to joke about it. A lot of us breeds used to joke about embrace change because if we tanned a little bit, we'd be darker, and so we raise change kind of deal. So like I used to be a lot darker than I am currently. But then I stayed inside and played a lot of video games. So I lost my pigment pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I mean that's the funniest thing too. I mean, before the stream started, we were talking about that, but I mean, obviously, you know, we're all self-quarantining right now, but like for us, like things have been mostly kind of the same.
Yeah,
sadly.
So for what you, I don't know about Brandon, but like for myself and you, James, we'd like sit here inside and we stare at computer screens all day anyway.
God,
like,
yeah. Oh man, I mean, but I forget. You don't have a day job then, Isaiah? You're just
I'm a freelance commentator.
Oh, sick. Okay, nice. I mean, I feel bad for you because I know what that life is like.
So one of the thing that like I had an opportunity to do it because I was like, oh hey, there are minimal bills in my future due to my living situation.
Oh, okay.
And I'm making X amount of money. So what I did was I put I saved a bunch of money from my job, and then I just was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't work out after a year, it's like whatever, you know. I didn't expect it to work out anyway.
You chose the wrong year.
No, the year I chose this was 3-4 years ago.
Oh, dang.
Okay. I was about to say, you chose the wrong year.
I've been doing this for a little while now.
Dude, I chose the wrong year to actually get my ass off the couch from being lazy, and I was like, I'm gonna be good this year. I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna do all this stuff and have it grow it to supplement my commentary, and now it needs to be my main thing.
Yeah.
Life comes by you fast.
So, like, all of us were expecting this year to be our most lucrative year, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
At least I was. Because there was multiple games getting World Tours.
Like Soul Calibur World Tour and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I was poised to be on multiple World Tours at a time, right? For me specifically. But also, not just, like, me personally, but, like, everybody thought it was going to be the most lucrative year for fighting games because of everything that was going on with the new games coming out. Fighting game tournaments were just getting better and better.
Grand Blue.
All this stuff was happening. So basically, in the thought process of the FGC, everything was only going up year after year, basically. So, of course, this next year would be my most lucrative, right? And then the year after that would then probably be more lucrative than that.
Right.
Was the thought process. However, this was the first year where it was tangible for me because of the 2 World Tours happening simultaneously.
God.
It probably, if I had stuck with like Street Fighter, it might have like stayed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's crazy because, like, full disclosure kind of thing. Like the past few years, it's my total sum that I've earned from doing commentary has basically not changed much in the last 3 years. Just because it's at first the CPT wasn't paying as much, but then there was stuff like ESL was doing Brooklyn Beatdown, Red Bull would fly us out to do Red Bull Kumite, and then those started disappearing, and then CPT went up, but then it just kind of all evened out, you know what I mean? So it's actually, honestly, Shay in the chat says, can you imagine if the situation drags out for more than a year? I mean, that's something that we have to be prepared for because literally just now, the United States became the highest number of cases out of everybody in all the countries in the world. So we're number one now. So
yeah, we did it, USA, USA.
God,
we just got to be number one, Lana.
See, I know, right? We have to be number one in
Please
everything.
stop going outside, people.
Practice your generation spacing. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, nice. Good work, James. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that one.
Yeah.
That was a real Sage Amp segue there, bud.
Shout outs to Olaf, by the way. He's the one who came up with the generation spacing name.
That is true. Yeah, thank you so much, Olaf. I'm sure he's right next to you right now. He's just been listening intently without saying.
He's holding James's hand under the table.
Yeah, exactly. Quiet, Olaf.
It's gonna be okay.
Stop it already. Okay, you can go. You can go now. Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. We finally beat Japan.
I mean, Japan is kind of in a bad situation too because they've been like, yeah, we're good. All right, fine, we're canceling the Olympics. Actually, we're in the shitter. You know, it's
Yeah, but now that they've canceled the Olympics and admitted they're shitting the bed, their rates are going down.
Yeah.
It turns out. Yesterday's was like 117 new cases or something like that, and today's was like 86 or some shit.
I mean, look, you've been to Japan before, right, Isaiah? You were there for
Yes.
Evo Japan. You haven't managed to get to Japan yet, right, Tubo?
No.
Dude, that place is so fucking clean. It's like ridiculous, dude. Like, I don't even
That
feel
is
like.
a lie, and you're lying to my face because those motherfuckers don't wash their hands.
Okay, okay,
All right,
right,
I'm gonna tell you
okay.
right now, everybody in
Okay.
the fucking chat, look at me directly in the eye. You go to Japan, watch these motherfuckers walk out of the bathroom. They do not wash their hands. There's no goddamn soap nowhere. None of that shit.
Gross. Super gross.
I guess that is kind of true.
This upset me. Like, I was not
Super
okay
gross.
with this.
Yikes.
Oh, man. Well, okay, so much for ever going back to Japan now, so.
I mean, I still want to go. but
No,
yikes.
yeah. No,
Gross.
it's still
I-
amazing.
You can buy soap and walk around with it. That's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
really unfortunate, but
No, honestly, though, I mean, it's still pretty goddamn clean over there, so.
in comparison, yes.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
It appears clean. It's clean. It's just not sanitary.
there you go.
The individual person is not as clean as you might think, but the buildings, the roads, like all that shit is way cleaner.
I mean,
all that stuff is way cleaner.
like,
for sure.
I've been able to take dumps in, like, bathrooms in of arcades there, and it's like not even bad, you know what I mean? It's like you go in there and you're like, okay, this is pretty, you know, like you go into any arcade in the US and go to use the bathroom. I mean, Super Arcade, the original location, had like
God.
super
The famed
the
bathroom.
famed bathroom that nobody could ever go into because it was so gross. So, you know, I mean, honestly, Japan, like, it feels very clean, so it's nice. So oh man.
Yeah, that's the dream trip.
Yeah, one of these days.
Fortunately, I got suckered into going to Scotland twice rather than Japan.
I mean, don't need to get into that right now, but you know.
Got suckered in, James.
I mean, you know, that's what this podcast is for. If you want to get into that, you can.
It's
No,
true.
no, no.
It's true.
No,
It's
another
true.
time.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
different episode maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, but yeah,
For sure at some point.
it's kind of a weird situation for commentators at this point. You know, we're all just trying to figure out how to make it work, and now we're trying to do a lot of this online commentary. Did you manage to do any commentary for Ronin Rumble recently, or no?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I went into the Ronin Rumble like commentators area or whatever, and like I saw people talking, and I made like a snide comment that Jeff never asked me to do commentary, and then his response to me was, "I don't ask anyone. People come to me." And my response to him was, "Well, I don't mean to. I don't think I can say this anyway without sounding like a pompous douche, but I don't beg people for commentary spots anymore, man. I've been doing this shit for 7
Right,
years.
yeah.
Fuck you, basically. Like, if you want to hire me, you know where I am."
I didn't even know if there was like an application or if he just asked somebody. So I just kind of found out about it, and I haven't done any commentary for him, obviously. But I was like, but while it was happening, I was like, oh, what do I do? Do I need to contact him directly if I want to maybe try it or whatever? But I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, use this little Discord. You can just hit him up and.
I mean, look, I'll be honest
Do
with
it.
you. Every time I've commentated for him, he's come and asked me. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's. I was aware of that.
right, yeah.
You know, so like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna volunteer to do free commentary for you anymore, Jeff. I respect going to Rumble. I really love what Jeff has done, but I'm not gonna beg to do free commentary.
It's a weird situation
Not
because
happening.
we're gonna have to be doing a lot of online stuff. I've even been thinking about trying.
I
to
mean,
do...
I have been though. I've had 3 online gigs. I have another one coming up Saturday.
Oh really?
I
Okay.
have one tomorrow.
Yeah, so
Dang.
so Jeff not hiring me doesn't bother me that
Right,
much. I mean,
right.
I would love for him to, but again, I'm not gonna.
Dang, it
Come
sounds
on,
like to
man.
me.
I'm not an up and comer. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, like I don't need to scrape for your gigs, your free gigs. So.
Look, I have no shame, okay? I have no shame. I'm trying.
That's actually one of the hard things, though. Is like, okay, so you are in an upper cover, right? And you deserve to be paid for your work and all that shit. And of course, like, but it's hard because you know these people and you understand their situation as well, where maybe they can't play or pay or whatever. And so you're like, well, fuck, I have to ask for money for my craft, but at the same time, I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, I mean,
and that comes
like,
up.
The funny thing is, though, man, like a lot of people, I'll work with them. Like, I'll work for almost for free, basically. You know, like if I know that I can help them out, that's fine. Like I'm okay with that. But it's kind of just the you need to ask thing is where I'm going.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know. I don't.
Best way.
I just had someone ask me to do an online gig, and I was like, "Oh, is there any pay?" And they were like, "We can't do that right now. We're hurting. Everybody's hurting." And I totally understood, and I was like, I agree with you, and I understand that situation, but then it's more prudent for me to stay at home and stream myself. That's actually one of the interesting side effects I feel like of this whole entire situation is everybody now has gone to this online stuff. I mean, heck, we have this new podcast sitting here, where we're trying to do new stuff as well. But it's actually kind of weirdly made it so that it's harder for people to work together because we all need to figure out ways to make it work. Because like I would do a free gig like that if I was still traveling and getting paid for a lot of these things, you know what I mean? But I can't do it now because we're all hurting, so it's kind of
you literally have to pay the bills, and there's no other way of doing so because. So
yeah, we lost you just a little bit there, Isaiah. You said no way.
Why do we keep losing me?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, I said that it's you literally have to pay the bills. Right. And there's it's not easy to do so when you're not traveling.
Right. And also, shout outs to Untamed Gaming too as well for the host here. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for jumping on in here. Again, if you guys are just tuning in and wondering what the heck is going on, yes, this is a brand new podcast with myself, TuboWare, and EbonicPlague.
Oh, you never changed the stream category, James. We're streaming Street Fighter V right now.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that.
I mean, we're all three of us are Street Fighter V comments.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know what? That's the way to get them in here, right? So
this isn't Street Fighter.
Yeah,
I didn't sign up for this.
Street Fighter. Sorry about that. I totally forgot to change the category, dude.
I thought this was America.
Streaming is like crazy because there's like 9 things you always have to do. Like David always gets mad at me because I forget to mute this and then I forget to change that and all this other things. But yeah, this is a brand new podcast that we're doing where we just talk about fighting games and all sorts of things, whatever we feel like it, whatever we go on to a tangent. So
whatever's on our mind.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess we've been going for about an hour and a half now. If you guys want to just like call it for the day, and we're gonna. It
sounds like you want to call it, James, because you've just been saying it over and over. I get it.
James, just say you're done.
I'm tired of these mofos here, man. God, I gotta spend more time with these guys. So.
Get enough of us at events.
Yeah, I know.
We can call it quits. It's getting late for me too. So.
Dude, I actually had to fucking share a room with Brandon at Frosty Fausting. So God,
I'm so sorry.
I had much to deal with over there. He gave me like his Cheez-Its and like his goldfish because I was hungry. God, what a jerk, man. I mean, what an
asshole.
What a total
definitely
dick,
hard to room with.
Oh man.
Don't do it.
No, it was cool though. I think one of the times that what event was it that I stayed with you and Humbag one year? That was
Frosties.
That was
Frosties.
Previous
Frosties.
Yeah, that was the previous Frosties. I feel like that was like one of the times where we actually just like got to sit down and talk a bunch and stuff, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. So.
Yeah, and then we did it again this year.
Yeah. I found out I didn't hate TuboWare, so, I was like, oh, okay. No, just kidding.
That's a plus.
First time I ever met TuboWare, I was like, the only way you can help me is you just stay the fuck out of my way. No, just kidding.
That sounds like me, too. Yeah, definitely.
That's such a coincidence. I feel like he's met a lot of people.
Man.
That to him.
It's funny.
Is that just like a greeting in
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Is that like the Illinois greeting? Is that like...
Jeez.
I learned something as a Midwesterner that I had never. Apparently, people in Wisconsin hate people in Illinois.
What?
And I don't ask me why. And they gave him the nickname Fibs.
Fibs.
Fucking Illinois bastards. And apparently that's what Wisconsin people call people from Illinois. I had never known this.
What the hell?
Creative.
Jeez.
I never knew this until I moved to Minnesota. I learned this being a Minnesotan. Is how I learned that a fib is a fucking Illinois bastard.
Minnesotan.
Have you been picking up?
No, okay there.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, have you been picking up the accent? Have you been picking up the accent?
Neighborino. So Minnesotans get real mad when you point out that they have an accent. Like, it's universal, because I do it all the time. Like, man, you are so Minnesotan. They're like, well, what do you mean they're a neighbor? I'm like, what did you just say to me?
Like, record that, play it back.
Yeah. Oh, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know it then? Here, let's make you a hot dish.
Minnesota.
All right there. And yeah, they hate it. They hate it when you point it out to them. Like, oh, no, I don't, dear. Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
This is how we talk.
It's rough.
It's
but
funny.
I also, when I moved here, I found out that I think women with like a slight Minnesotan accent are incredibly cute.
Oh, yeah?
So,
you like it,
yeah,
huh?
I don't know why. I just think it's adorable.
So don't ever tell them then.
We got
'cause
your fetish, now we got his fetish.
Yeah, exactly.
what's
We're
your
learning about our
fetish,
kinks.
EbonicPlague?
Well, that's all for tonight, folks.
Oh, man.
Don't forget to wash your hands, ladies and gentlemen. all right?
Oh, my God.
That's my kink.
Washing your hands is
Washing-
your kink?
Washing your hands.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
we
my
just got
God.
rated by
Hey,
Pat
what's
the
up, Pat?
Flip.
What do you do,
So,
Pat?
all of
Guilty
his-
Gear extraordinaire.
All of his, yeah, we were all just talking about how Guilty Gear is the greatest fighting game. No, actually,
That's
were.
definitely what we were saying. We definitely didn't say anything bad about it. I swear to God.
I mean, to be honest with
Not
you,
one
I
bit.
mean, I think we all love Guilty Gear here. So,
Yeah.
I could write you an essay right now
Yeah,
about the
I'm-
problems with that video game.
I'm pumped for
on
Stripe.
problems, you said?
Problems with that video game.
Dude, I love Guilty Gear. I think it's the most, like, I'm so hyped for Strive right now because, like, the rollback netcode and the possibility of, obviously it's changed a lot. A lot of people are scared about that, but that means everyone's going to be learning the game together. And if you bring in a lot of new people with the rollback netcode, I actually think that this has the potential to be something really, really big. I feel like Guilty Gear Strive is a big game changer, and I'm hoping that it does so many wonderful things for the FGC.
The thing I've noticed about Strive actually is like, remember everybody's initial reaction?
Oh, hey,
That it's
hey.
like really.
You're breaking up, Isaiah.
You're breaking
please.
up.
Hello, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
You're back.
Go,
That was
go,
weird.
go.
You just like blink out.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're good now.
Everybody's initial reactions to Strive was not so great because everybody was like, oh, it's dumbed down. This is like that really dumb shit or whatever the hell. And then everybody got to play it. And after everybody played it, they're like, wow, this game is actually really fun.
Dude,
this
it's
is like,
because you got-
can do this, you can do that.
You got the
Like,
VIP treatment, right? So obviously you're
yes.
gonna say nice things. They were feeding you grapes. They had
in
the
between my
fans.
massages,
Yeah.
I actually got to play a few sets.
Exactly.
But there was also the caviar. I don't know if you remember that, James.
Yeah.
By the way, how big brain am I when I called that Strive had rollback?
Did you say that?
I
or-
called that shit in February, and then when they announced it, I retweeted my shit.
That's
Oh,
the thing, though,
nice.
is they originally didn't.
I know that. That's why I said, how big brain am I?
that you knew they were gonna change it.
Yeah. I'm a fucking genius. I was pissed when my tweet didn't blow up after. I thought for sure that tweet was gonna fucking skyrocket.
I
People
just
hate.
legitimately think it's because it didn't originally have rollback, and it was only put in through the crazy amount of like surveys
Yeah.
and like
Twitter complaining works.
I mean, I'll
Remember
tell you
that,
this.
FGC. Twitter complaining works.
People don't like to see people being right about things. When the cross-up came out and started getting everybody on Tekken, I literally showed a tweet that I had from over a year before. I was like, we'd better start looking into how to deal with someone who creates a controller with movement buttons on the right side. And I was like, you better check this because now everyone's going to be able to do electrics and everything like that. I even proved it on my joystick by using the accessibility options in the PlayStation 4 and changed some of the buttons to left and right. And I was going electric, 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 electric. And someone came into my stream and were like, wow, James, you're really good at electrics. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, you have
yes,
some great
I am.
execution, James.
Yeah, no, shout outs to Zynak, the man on the inside. Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's go, Zynak.
Yeah.
He's going to save us all.
I heard
Make it happen, Chase.
he also helped work on Skullgirls as well as Killer Instinct, right? So
I believe so. I
don't
know for
know.
sure Killer Instinct.
yeah, so he's an expert at this already. And again, this is the thing, right? Look, even
Well,
if
there's actually another game he worked on. I don't know if we're yet allowed to talk about it. I just thought about that.
okay, well, you got censored because you cut out for a second. So if you mention the name of the game, we're all good. So
No, I didn't mention
Okay,
the name of the
okay.
game, but I was just like, oh shit, he did work on another game. But
Because honestly, here's the thing, right? Even if Guilty Gear came out and the rollback netcode was shit, right? Like, let's say they fuck it up and it doesn't work because testing in Japan is different than testing in the US or whatever like that. It's not going to take them fucking 4 years to fix it. You know, I mean, that's just the thing. They're not going to be on radio
that's
silence.
a fact.
You know,
are we sure about that? I don't know. Capcom proved that to me that was a possibility.
Yeah,
But that's what I mean. That's
Cap
what,
competence.
yeah. I
It
just,
won't happen with Arxis.
yeah, I feel like.
Look, I've been playing Arxis games since I was fucking born. Okay?
Right,
I
well, like, so
have
here's the thing.
Literally no faith in that.
Here's the thing, right?
How many of them had rollback netcode?
Yeah, the problem was that the biggest downside of them has always been their netcode, right? And this is what
God.
they're fixing. And here you go. And you don't believe, do you? I can see the doubt on your face, Isaiah.
Look. I
believe.
I am so genuinely surprised that Strive even has one back.
Dude, I didn't want to believe. I refused to let myself believe, and then it happened, and now I'm just like, you know, praise
I
all.
100% believe.
Yeah, so.
I trust in Zynak.
I would much rather you guys be correct. I trust in Zynak too. It's the other people that Zynax works for that I don't trust.
Yeah,
They
but
might
they're gonna
not
be coming
allow
here
him
for all
to
advice.
do the things.
They're gonna have to. If they've never built this before, they're
Right.
gonna have to. They're gonna have to consult with Iron Galaxy. They're gonna have to consult with Mike Z. They're gonna have to because they're not gonna know any better. And Zynak is their portal to that world. So I believe.
I mean, Capcom had to do that stuff too, right?
Oh, man.
No, they didn't, and that's why they failed.
That's what I'm saying. Is they might not do it at all.
Yeah, but
Arxis is not Capcom.
we're talking to a man. You look, you can clearly see that this is a man who has been burned here.
I mean, that's me with Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
know.
am.
I understand that, and Arc System Works has definitely done some burning of.
Arc System Works has been killing it though. They killed it with Dragon Ball. They killed it with Xrd, in my opinion. They killed it with Granblue. Like they've been on a tear.
They have. You're not
I
wrong.
don't see them fucking up now.
Right. That's how I'm hoping. You know, that's how I feel. So.
I think you're thinking of Arxis circa 2010.
I'm also thinking of the esports division at Arxis. Because the only reason they would want to implement
right.
rollback netcode is for esports reasons.
Well, here's the
And their esports division, I'm going to quote because it's not real, is Woolati.
I mean, here's the thing, right? All
You're damn right,
esports,
Pat.
all esports divisions are going to start that way. Because, like, I mean, we look at CPT right now. People are winning $250,000 at Capcom Cup. But let me tell you about the 25th anniversary tournament in the first year of CPT, you know, and everything.
Yeesh.
So, like, that was a fucking disaster. So, I mean, it wasn't disaster, but it's as ghetto as, you know, like, this first official year of CPT, only one U.S. qualifier existed. And I think it was the event that Big E and Larry and L.I. Joe, they all ran in North Carolina.
The joint effort.
Chris G was the only American who made it into that tournament because he won that event, you know. So, you know, the 25th anniversary tournament was the one where they hired me and David for commentary, and that was it. And so we commentated for like 12 to 13 hours straight. So
I'm just saying I don't have a lot of faith in their ability to listen.
okay.
That's all.
Okay.
All right, that's all. Listening is not their strong suit. Right? which could change over time, and I would much rather you two be correct than me.
Right, of course. This is one of those situations where you're like, I will be more than happy to be wrong on this one.
Yeah, I can't wait until 2025 when this shit gets clipped and everybody's blowing up in my face. I will relish it.
Right.
Like,
This is like when you This is like when you
thank
bet on
God
the
I was wrong.
you bet on the guy that you
prediction is they're going to run a second beta, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be pretty mediocre, and they're gonna get feedback, and they'll fix it for fine.
yeah. They'll
Final
definitely
release.
do another beta before they roll. Before
I think they just did this beta because final round got canceled. Honestly,
Yeah.
They were probably gonna do a beta anyway.
Yeah.
you think so?
It was probably scheduled. It was probably
I feel like they just
scheduled.
threw it out.
I feel like it was probably scheduled at this time.
They were.
so,
It was definitely scheduled.
Yeah, it's hard to do something like that quick. It's hard to get. That's
Glenn
why
had the beta.
That's why I'm so amazed that the rollback netcode got in. Is because I know how hard it is to get people to change their minds with budgets and all these things. And I mean, I every time I talk to people in my chat and they're like, "Why can't this company just do this?" And I'm like, "You've never worked at a big company before.
A
Clearly,
big Japanese company is almost impossible to persuade to do anything.
dude, right?"
That's not their normal routine.
That's the other crazy part is that it's a fucking Japanese company that decided to do that. So
That's right. Yeah.
That's
You guys remember the UI for Strive?
oh yeah.
they're
Counter, you know.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that wasn't supposed to change either.
Oh really?
I do not believe for a second that was a change. They had that Japanese exhibition, and that's when they finally commented on it. When the Japanese exhibition happened, and they all told it to the developers' faces that the UI made no fucking sense and it was not good.
Yeah, it seemed.
That's when they
it wasn't very
finally
pretty to
commented
look
on
at
it.
either.
It's when they finally commented on it. They didn't say a fucking word about it up until that.
Interesting,
I don't believe for a second that it was supposed to change on launch.
Yeah, well,
Well, we'll see.
they better change it now because it's not good.
Well, I mean, they said in the beta it has a new. So.
Oh, even the beta has
Did they
a.
say it?
Yeah, the beta has a new UI.
Oh
Did they? Are
really?
you sure? I
It's
don't
on the
remember
page.
that.
Go look it up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I promise.
I guess I missed that part. I was probably too
They,
busy.
they,
trying
they
to
said
sign
it, they
up.
said it's the first look at the new UI.
I was too busy trying to
Oh,
sign up, probably.
I mean,
like,
I
"Fuck,
was
Where's the link? Where's the link?
I was too busy shitting myself from the fact that they were putting the rollback netcode in there, dude.
Dude, the best part about that tweet was, I think it was Sin dropping the mic.
Oh,
Oh
See
yeah,
the
yeah.
tweet?
I
He was
forgot
dropping a
about that.
mic.
I don't think I noticed that.
I-
Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah, he
the
was dropping
3
a
out of
mic.
3, the 3 out of
I think
3.
that had to have been either Carrie or God, it was probably Carrie who
Right.
tweeted that one.
I'm trying to find it right now. So
It's rollback netcode. That was the whole tweet too.
yeah, it was
rollback
3 out of 3. Oh yeah,
Dropping
oh
the
yeah,
mic.
there you go. Yeah, he's dropping. I totally never noticed the mic
Yeah,
there.
super
You're right.
sick.
That was mad good.
Dude, that's actually really nice too because they also made the mic actually look animated. So like someone found an animated mic and put it in that and photoshopped it in there. That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Dang, nice.
I mean,
okay.
I'm really happy they did it. I'm just skeptical. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
You're gonna be wrong, damn it. I believe in
Good.
Zynac.
Good.
We're gonna
I
get good
know-
netcode.
I believe in Zynac too.
Yeah, so in addition, get the first look at the revised character screen and in-game user interface. There you go.
I didn't really have a big problem with the character selection screen.
Yeah, the character selection screen was fine. I thought so.
It wasn't like amazing or anything. I don't know. It wasn't bad either. You know what I mean?
It worked.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't understand was their categories for the characters.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause tricky? What does tricky mean?
That just means that they don't want to say complicated. You know what I mean? They don't want to
They're
say
tricky.
They don't
Real
want
tricky.
Yeah.
Well, because that could mean a lot of things, though, James. That doesn't mean that they're complicated for the play as. It could mean they're complicated to play against. That could mean, like, a bevy of shit, honestly. What does it mean?
I really think that just means that they like Jacko would be a tricky character because she's gonna be
Maybe.
hard.
Real tricky. Real tricky. All right. You watch it. They're tricky.
But we're gonna find out if that sticks or not. Actually,
That's
during the
right.
beta period.
That's right. I actually kind of liked it. I liked the fact that they, kind of gave you an idea of what the character is kind of supposed to play like.
I did like that too.
Yeah.
I just thought the category naming was odd. That's all.
Tricky. It's such a PR way to describe. That's just what it seems like. They probably were in a meeting and were like, "How do we describe it?"
I think I would just say technical at that point. It's not like other fighting games haven't put technical as
It's true.
As a category before.
That was the category.
That's what they meant, though.
That was the category for some of the assists in MVC2 and MVC3, right? It was technical. No, it was. God, what was it? It was like varied or.
I only called them by alpha, beta, gamma.
Oh dang! Look at you.
So I didn't really like. Yeah.
Look at you using the official terms. I'm sorry.
It's not even official. It's just on the
Spear Flame is still up super, dude. It's always gonna be up super for the rest of my life. Dr. Doom going. It's the up super. Oh man. Yeah.
All right, let's end it before we go off another tangent. Because it's gonna happen. We've said goodbye twice already.
Yeah, I know, right?
My chair is sinking.
Your chair is singing, and it does. I mean, obviously, it's very late for you there too. So yeah, it's almost 1 a.m. So
it's almost 1.
Yeah, let's
Time for me to go.
let's let Brandon off the leash here. So
hit the old dusty trail.
But again, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, let us know what you think so far. Let us know if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, and give us some feedback on how you're enjoying the first episode of Generation Spacing. Again, thanks to TuboWare and EbonicPlague for and for coming on and hanging out for a couple of hours. And we're gonna try to keep doing this probably every Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So
I think that's the move.
Yeah, it's gonna be late for a lot of the East Coaster guys, but then you can catch us on the YouTubes as well. So.
On the YouTube.
Go to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube.
Go to the YouTube. Look up the old Biden speeches.
He's just such a sweet old man, Jchensor.
We have to take care of this now. We've got to fix the netcode now.
And by the way, cap competence.
Yes.
That's Bernie. By the way.
Wash your damn hands.
Yeah, exactly. Or I can just be I can be other candidates too. I'd be like, I shouldn't have said that. You know what?
All right, Biden.
It's go ahead.
No, Biden, you need to understand. We need to wash our damn hands and implement rollback netcode because the 1% is holding all the bandwidth.
All right, I'm leaving.
All right, okay.
Bye.
All right, thanks, guys. Oh, dang, he just took off. Oh, my God. Okay, he's gone. All right, thanks, guys, for tuning in. I have lost my camera view. I only have EbonicPlague and parts of your home right now. I will talk to you. Thanks, guys, for watching and tuning in. Peace out.
See you guys. Oh, shit.
Oh, God.